Hi, hello, namaste. Schools started functioning at full-fledged manner. Most of the students started coming back to schools. And now what is the concern? Now the major problem lies with the attention of the students. If I am not mistaken, most of the teachers and parents would really agree with me. So welcome to Lata Smart Thoughts, and in today's video I'll be talking about the major concerns in the educational sector and how to resolve them. The major concerns or challenges what educators as well parents equally are facing now after the post-COVID reopens are: number one is the attention span of the students. We can really call it no focus or low focus phase really now. Student attention span has really gone down utterly, that the teaching hours are really not much uh, productive with the learning outcomes. The achievement of learning outcomes is very thin when compared to the pre-COVID phase. So what can we do for this is something which is to be parked now. And the second important thing is sitting postures. Students are not able to sit throughout the instructional hours and pay attention to the teachers because they were more in a relaxed mode during their online classes. They were stretching their body, they were sitting, stretching legs, lying down as on, and now with a particular posture, sitting in the classrooms is really a tough task for them, is what observed. And number three is food. The food habits have been drastically changed. The stuffs in the lunch boxes are mostly filled with junk foods or fried foods, deep fried foods. And this is something really concern. Already the obesity rate in the kids has gone up, and we do observe in the classrooms lot much change is there in the physical appearance of the students. And number four is coping up with examination patterns, that is their performance in the achievement tests conducted by the schools or the educational organizations. It has been very low, performance is very low, and the major reason is the reading and writing pace have gone down. The pace of the child's reading and writing has literally gone down, and they're not able to cope up the stress of examinations once it is pen paper mode. And number five is effect on their mental health due to the addiction of gadgets. Children are showing so much of restlessness in the classrooms. They want to go home and once again take their mobile or the gadget and experience the time of play with the gadget. It is so very much observed by the teachers and parents. The moment they reach home, the first job would be just throwing the bag aside, search for their gadget and sit with that. So these are the major concerns or the issues which we are observing. So how to resolve them? As an educator or as a parent, we need to take some steps and help the children to come out of this situation, because children are really deprived of their freedom because of the pandemic. So number one is, in every classroom we can dedicate little time for some warm up activities or warm up exercises or even meditation. So warm up activities like selecting a action song or a rhyme or a word song and making the children to shake their body for that before starting the class would really make them physically present in the classrooms. The mental and physical coordination is easily possible. So they will come out of that lethargic mood and they will be very active. And number two is the food habits. Food habits should be really taken care by both parents and teachers. Please check the lunch boxes now and then. Educate them on the pros and cons of the gaining weight tremendously. And we can take some initiatives like conducting a fruit day or a vegetable day once in a week, compelling one vegetable so that child maximum, if she is not allergic to it, can bring that particular vegetable and celebrate the vegetable day. Likewise, we can slowly bring changes into their lifestyle by introducing healthy uh, foods into their lunch boxes. And third is tests and assessments. So we should also think of the alternate test methods, or the tools can be used innovatively. Instead of selecting always the pen paper tests, we can go with the modern methods or the advanced methods of testing. So once we decide our summative or formative assessment to be conducted, we can go for portfolios, quizzes, project works. So when we take such methods of testing, definitely the academic performance along with the personality can be checked at once, and that really motivates a kid. Portfolio is one good method of assessing the child in a multi-dimensional manner. And last but not least, teachers and parents need to be even more empathetic to understand them, their mental health of getting addicted to mobiles. So, either in the classrooms or at home, I request the teachers or parents to give them some space to speak much. If at home, ask them to speak about school. If at school, ask them to speak about themselves or home, so that allow them to express themselves little more and allow them to come back once again to the human pools. Only then these children will come into the normal stream and they will be tuned according to our expectations. Otherwise, the shift management is very much a problem, and even teachers and parents should change the expectation level. We can't expect the children to do everything with the previous pace. We need to understand them, encourage them, and slowly we have to convert our learning objectives into outcomes. Thank you. And if you like the video, please subscribe and share.